As well, remember that was an 8 o'clock kickoff. They're a few minutes behind us, but they are cruising to 3 points against Brighton this evening. It took them a while to find that first breakthrough, but since then the floodgates have opened. Remember, you can watch all of tonight's goals on the Sky Sports app. Scan that QR code and you'll be able to see that very shortly. So this is how we stand. Remember, Manchester City not quite finished, but as things stand, they'll be going back above Liverpool into top spot. Chelsea staying in third. Spurs, for now, staying in fourth on goal difference, ahead of Arsenal, who've joined them on 57 points. And remember, those two still to meet at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Brighton stay 10th, only just from Newcastle on goal difference. Their terrific run of form under Eddie Howe continues. And down at the bottom, Burnley would have been watching on. Everton snatching a point. It means that gap is now 4 points, both with 7 games to play. And Burnley play the first of those tomorrow night, live on Sky. From the rising of Arsenal, perhaps. Paul Merson's thoughts. Jimmy, is it right that there should be a party in the Arsenal dressing room here?
Oh, it's a big result. It's a massive result. I said before the game they couldn't afford to lose. But what a bonus to win the way they did. It gave them plenty of confidence going into the game against Man United at the Emirates. I think it picks the whole crowd up. In fact, it just shows how quickly football can change.
What's the Chelsea take on that, Jimmy?
I think for Chelsea today, it was a really bad performance. Really, really bad performance. Certain players are getting an opportunity. Lukaku, Sarr, Christensen. You know, going back to Lukaku, doesn't do enough. Does not do enough. You know, if you want to be the man, you need to run around. You need to at least run around. You need to try to show that you're bothered. You know, you need to want to suffer. He doesn't run around. He doesn't go into gaps. He doesn't demand of his players the ball. He doesn't go into the space. Like that, you're not going to score. They're very static. And you know, if you're going to have that, if players are going to play like that, you have no chance. You know, they play against a motivated Arsenal team who have lost 3 matches in a row, who have got something to prove. You need to go over the top of them. You need to at least show some passion. And there was no passion from Lukaku. And, you know, Sarr and Christensen, they cannot make those kind of mistakes in these kind of matches.
But maybe Arsenal surprised Chelsea. Did they surprise you?
Arsenal very good. Not when I saw Merson touched on it, not when I saw the team sheet. I felt this was a good opportunity for them today. They played at the Bernabeu, they played at Wembley. You knew he was going to rest a couple of players, and the players that he took out of the team made a massive difference. Rudiger sounds like he's got a bit of an injury. Havertz makes such a difference. Like Jimmy said, you know, Werner and Lukaku are just on completely different wavelengths. It's like they've never played football together. So that makes it harder for them as well. Defensively, you know, with Christensen, didn't look strong enough. And Eddie Nketiah had a field day up there. So it didn't really surprise me today. But I do like what I saw from Arsenal, especially they're showing a bit of character. Those 3 games they've lost, you know, up front, you know, with Saka and Nketiah. Smith Rowe, I like him as well. You know, they've got that little bit of devilment in the way they play. They take risks, and it's a big result, and it opens it wide open. It makes it wide open again, because I think if they'd have lost today, I think Arsenal would have just been too much to come back with 4 losses on the spin. So they are right back in this race now, Arsenal.
We spoke beforehand, Jimmy, about where the attacking threat was going to come from Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah starting just his 2nd Premier League game of the season, looking for his first Premier League goal. But it was the kind of game that would dash from one end to the other in the first half. Did Arsenal's defending leave a little bit to be desired for the equaliser, which came from Timo?
You can see it from here, and it sort of just went. But I tell you the reaction. Have a look at the 3 players that were in front of the ball, long way, and it's not come at pace. He's took the power out of it. But you could see by their reaction they wasn't happy with him letting that goal in.
Yeah, they weren't happy. The Arsenal, the Emile Smith-Rowe goal to make it 2-1, Jamie, really came from
great
back
team
to front.
goal.
As well.
I know that, but you preferred to smash the back
door.
door.
Well, hold on a
bang,
second.
You know,
what's the key then to finishing that when the ball is coming across from the other side?
He's so calm. He knows what he's going to do. He's already made his mind up. He knows he's passing this in the side net.
But Odegaard's pass makes it.
And Odegaard makes it.
Part, yeah,
he takes the weight of that pass into the finish, and that is harder for a goalkeeper to save.
2-2 it was before half-time as Spilicueta, the goal scorer, and a 15th assist of the season for Mason Mount, who you approached.
Yeah,
Finish the block
and
down.
it's a great, to be fair though, great finish. Great finish.
Into the second half, how did Arsenal get themselves in front?
But a good piece of play again. I think it's a...
The defenders. And that is where he comes alive, Nketiah. In the box. He just knows, he anticipates quicker than the others. And that's the kind of goals that he scores a lot.
Does he keep his place in the team now?
Honestly, you can't believe how hard that finish was. That was a phenomenal goal. You know, it's a toe poke. It's in between two players. Yeah, for goal scorer, staring them straight in the eyes.
Could this be the difference then, when you're talking about the margins between Spurs, who you've said have the firepower, and Arsenal, who perhaps don't? Could he be the joker in the pack?
Could be a 4 out. Yeah. He could be a 4 out of 10 next week. He could be. If he wasn't, he'd be in the team every week. That's his second start all season. So the consistency levels are not there. But if he gets consistent for 3 or 4 games, Arsenal come fourth. He's a natural goal scorer. His first goal is a phenomenal finish, and that one is just as good.
The conversation before the game between all of us was like, yeah, they've been OK defensively, not been able to score goals, Arsenal. The fact they've scored 4 goals now, they've got to go away to West Ham, got to go away to Spurs. That will give them so much belief in that dressing room. When you go away and you get goals and you create chances, it's so important for your confidence.
Plus, plus he's willing to run beyond. He's willing to run. Lacazette wouldn't have chased that first one down.
Well, he wouldn't have got it, would he?
He wouldn't have been. And the next one, he wouldn't have scored them 2 goals. Even though he's a good footballer, Lacazette, probably a better footballer, not a better finisher.
But what's the impact of those 2 goals going to have on that young man this evening as well, and for subsequent games, Jimmy?
A lot. It will give him momentum. It will give him belief that he can do it, especially, against a big team. He's earned, his place in the next match. It will give him wings, I think, and at the right time as well for his team. They're going to a few really important matches. It can only do him well. It can only do him good.
Especially without Tierney, without Partey, that was so important today because they've missed those 2 players, and to get that result without them, I don't know how long they're going to be, whether they'll be back before the end of the season, but they do really miss Tierney at left back.
Into those final few moments, and Chelsea were pressing for the equaliser instead.
To the boy. That says a lot.
I think it's a harsh.
It's like watching American football when you see a wide receiver trying to get it and defender grabbing him. He's not looking at the ball. I think he gets the contact on him. He fouls him. He goes to the ground. I think his position was just completely wrong by Spilicueta, and he also makes your initial foul and it's grabbing him, and he's got every right to go down for it.
We were very interested to see who would grab the ball, and Bukayo Saka really did make sure he was the man taking that penalty. And then we're asking the question:
left foot slips.
We'll have another look.
Yeah, you watch it slips, and it's so close to nearly.
For him to... And I like the way, once he got the penalty, he wanted it. He wanted to take it, showed responsibility.
For the ball, didn't he?
And those young guys are leading the way. Smith Rowe, Saka and Nketiah today, they were different class.
3 straight defeats, but it's a big night, this, for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta with... Well, we're blessed this season, aren't we? We've got a brilliant race for the title, and this race, the top 4, could go to the wire as well. Is it any clearer for you now, Paul?
I think advantage Arsenal. I really do. I don't think Tottenham beat Brentford away. Brentford are flying, absolutely flying at the moment.
Saturday's crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, I do, because I think Arsenal's a hard game. I know Man United have been terrible, but who doesn't want to turn up at the Emirates and play football on that pitch? They've got no pressure. Man United. It's probably the first game they've ever played as a club of Manchester United's magnitude where no one expects anything. Like nothing. You can just go out on Saturday and get beat, and no one would care less. It's just one of them games. I just think it's a dangerous game.
What about that Newcastle away game? That'll be Newcastle's last game of the season at home.
Yeah,
they've had a really good end of season. That's not going to be easy for Arsenal either, is it?
No, that's not. But it's all about timings at the moment. It's like West Ham away is a hard game, but it's in between Frankfurt.
Yeah.
So West Ham really, you're looking at that game and thinking, will they rest every player? I think it's advantage Arsenal.
Everton's still fighting for their...
Yeah,
life.
I mean, that all depends what happens
season.
with Burnley, doesn't it, now? I mean, 4 points is a lot of points, unless Burnley can win a couple of
Burnley
games.
and Norwich, Spurs' last 2 games, you'd like to... If you can get to a stage where you need those 2 to win, you'd take that. And I think that's where they want to get
to. I don't... I mean,
I've
said it all. Look, I don't see these 2 teams winning their last 5 or 6 games. I just don't see it.
Could it all come down to the North London derby?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
It's live. We hope so. It'll be a great game.
How do you see it, Jim? Is it a toss of a coin for you?
I think it's going to be very close. Before the match tonight, I was more with Spurs because of their firepower and because of Arsenal had difficulty scoring. I still am with Spurs. You know, I think, yes, the North London derby is going to be a big match. But I just think that, you know, Spurs have got Kane, they've got Conte, they know how to win games, you know. I don't know.
But I mean, they've got more experience. I mean, we've seen it with this Arsenal team, is consistency.
Yeah.
You know, they were flying along, then they lose 3 games on the trot against 3, without no disrespect, 3 average teams, not like top of the range. Palace was a hard game. And then all of a sudden they come to Chelsea and score 4. And that's what you get when you've got a young team.
Yeah,
It's consistency.
exactly.
And that's a blow to Spurs as well, isn't it? They'll have been watching that. They wouldn't have expected this tonight.
100% not. 100. Every Tottenham fan, every Tottenham player, and don't let anybody tell you they're not watching. Please tell me they're not. You know, everybody. We all played the game. You're watching. You're going, right. Well, they won't win there, so they don't win here. And now they're like, whoa. They've got to play Brentford, who are flying.
It's not an easy game.
Say 7 weeks ago, you look at the fixtures, you go, well, we'll beat Brentford, and Arsenal would probably get beat by United, or it's a hard game. That has completely turned around.
After what's happened
Brentford's a harder game.
After losing to Brighton, it certainly is. That's for Tottenham. It makes it a really
And Christian
hard.
Eriksen's flying as well.
Christian Eriksen,
They're
he's in
scoring
great
goals,
form.
they're winning football games.
Ivan Toney
Brentford. It's
can
a
cause
hard
problems.
game. The atmosphere would be rocking.
I think what we're trying to say is it's hard to predict. That might be the answer we're looking for, Igor.
We'll keep on pushing you and poking you and hoping you give us some answers, because nobody's got a clue in the honest truth.